Hello friends, this is Reflections, a religious affairs program sponsored by Paducah Cooperative Ministry, where together we do God's work with human hands. I'm Karen Winkel, one of the co-hosts of the program, here today by myself. Gregory's gone, but we're glad to have you with us, and we're glad to spend a little time together talking with three dynamic women about a program that's being offered to the Paducah community, the Collaborative Women's Conference taking place in Paducah in October. We've got Julie Price, we've got Berneice Belt, and we've got Martha Argotte, who are here to share with us not only what the program will entail and the ways in which folks from all over will be drawn together, but the purposes of this and maybe what you sense the Spirit might be doing as a consequence of this program. So welcome each of you. I will start with Berneice. I know you are, I would kind of think of you maybe a little bit as the animator of this Collaborative Women's Conference.
Well, I think I will probably be more comfortable with just overseer.
Okay.
And the reason is because we have about 121 women representing 24 churches who are just animated right along with me, and they are excited, and actually we're just one. Thus the word collaborative, and it works out really, really well. I think God, and I believe that God knows exactly what He's doing. I think that we are learning daily that He is the all-wise one, and He knows exactly what He wants to do, with whom and when, and we are diligently trying one day at a time just to let Him continue going ahead of us, and then we take our steps right behind Him.
So the Collaborative Women's Conference is taking place October 10th, 11th, and 12th in Paducah in a variety of settings. And if I'm understanding correctly, this is part of something that's happening, this Collaborative Women's Conference effort is happening in other places as well?
Well, I'll go back just a little bit. The Collaborative Women's Conference, the entire name is actually the name of the faith-based organization. In October, the 10th and 11th, that's on a Friday night, and from 8 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. on that Saturday, October the 11th. These 2 days make up the kickoff conference. The kickoff conference is designed to continue getting the word out about what God is doing through this new faith-based ministry that He founded, and then also to use this as an opportunity to allow all those who will to participate by attending, purchasing tickets, so that we can begin early on to bless organizations that help women and their families struggling in whatever shape, form, or fashion they happen to be struggling in, and then those organizations who also give hope to those women and their children. And so the proceeds from the kickoff conference in October will be divided equally between the Merriman House Domestic Crisis Center and Ladies Living Free, both in Paducah. And while both of those organizations operate in Paducah, there are women and their children who have used those services who do not live within the Paducah area.
So, Martha, talk a little bit about your part in this dynamic happening.
Well, there's a few things. We each take responsibility in spreading the word about this conference, as well as, our future goals and what the purpose of it is. I personally became involved from a diversity standpoint. To me, it was phenomenal to unite women of all different backgrounds, especially when it comes to faith. To appreciate others' faiths, to appreciate their understanding and their beliefs. It helps me personally grow as an individual.
Mm-hmm. So that's what drew you in, was that wonderful vision of inclusivity and growing richer by through difference.
Exactly. I mean, it's the way to grow as an individual is by understanding and embracing others' differences and seeing that as a strength rather than as a weakness. And what better way than through Christ?
Well, I think that's what Christ is calling us to.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
If I'm reading the gospel correctly. And Julie, I know you've been involved from early on, and what drew you in?
I would echo what Martha said, and also as it just happened, the congregation to which I belong at the time was, and we're still doing this, kind of taking a step back to reflect on ourselves and kind of see where we're at and where we want to go. And it seemed through our processes, through our discussions and reflecting and listening to God, as we called it, it seemed that we kept going back to, we felt the need to reach out and not only to form better relationships with people that were different from us. You know, I think we all tend to find ourselves providing service or hanging around people that look like us and act like us. And we really felt the need to step out and form relationships with people that were different from us. And not only that, but to provide a service to the community through partnering with diverse groups. And about the same time, a friend of mine, Whitney Kaywood, and I noticed on the I-list that there was a collaborative women's conference. And we didn't know exactly what that was, but we wanted to find out. So we started attending the meetings and thought, you know, this might be the medium through which not only we personally, but our church could provide a service to the community. So that's...
Isn't that marvelous, the way that God works through, you know, through the internet even? You would, you know, might not have even expected that 5 years ago, the way in which the Spirit is connecting us. Well, I know there are a variety of purposes for the Collaborative Women's Conference, and certainly a deep part of that is to enable women to come together from a variety of faiths, a variety of backgrounds. What are some of the other purposes of this conference?
Well, if I may be allowed, I'd like to read a paraphrase the 5-part purpose of the Collaborative Women's Conference: to promote spiritual, emotional, and social unity among women, to collaborate with organizations and services to provide opportunities for training, education, and personal assistance for women and their children, to support and promote churches, pastors, and their wives, existing women's ministries, women ministers, and wives of associate ministers, and organizations designed to assist women and their children in various forms of service and recovery, and to provide support and assistance in developing women's ministries in local churches. We'll even do whatever they want us to do to help them do that. And then lastly, to initiate opportunities to attend constructive events such as conferences and workshops in and outside our local community. 121 women representing 24 churches, therefore 24 pastors. And we're still accepting people to come in and become members. There are no dues. You don't have to attend any certain number of meetings per year to be in good standing, because we understand that these women are busy, that they have families and other organizations in which they are participating. They're involved in ministries in their churches. And so again, we are an extension. And so we work collaboratively with each other and among those organizations and churches with whom they are already in relationship. Also, when we talk to these ladies, and it's just too bad we can't have them all in here with us right now. I don't think there would be enough at this college to hold all the energy that would be in this room if they could be with us today. But it is so outstanding. It just touches our hearts when we see these women. Our oldest founding member is 82 years old. Our youngest is 6. And when we refer to little Olivia as our youngest founding member, she just smiles. She has no idea what that means. She just knows it's a great, wonderful thing, and she's embracing it. And little Olivia is a member of First Christian Church, where Julie is a member, and where Dr. Kaywood, who is here in the studio with us today, supporting us, even down to little Olivia, there's a certain amount of excitement and animation that just goes along with the whole concept of collaboration. Our pastors, when we went to them, their spirits quickened, and they were so supportive immediately. And you know when something is God ordained. Certainly, if it's God ordained, it doesn't mean that it's perfect and there are no bumps in the road, because God doesn't let us do everything the easy way all the time. He's testing us this year, Pastor Winkel. And when we pass this test, and I say when we pass this test, He's going to give us an outpouring in 2009.
Well, I would say energy is often an indicator of the Spirit at work, and so that's just wonderful to hear about that, energizing and in the flowing in of the Spirit's power. Let's talk a little bit about the program that's going to be offered in October, and so that our viewers can be enticed and perhaps spurred to attend. First of all, how would a person who's hearing about this program register? Where would they turn for that?
We have a post office box address 958, post office box 958 in Paducah. The zip is 42002 under Collaborative Women's Conference. They may contact us there, or they may call our office number, which is 270-554-2804, and speak directly with us. The tickets are $25 per person. Single parents who want to also bring their daughters to both the Friday night and Saturday event, their tickets are $12.50. For persons who have fixed income for whatever reason, we're not going to judge, their tickets are also $12.50. We realize that the cost of fuel and the cost of living is ludicrous, and we understand that God has a way of working things out for people who want to come and be blessed and to be empowered, so that when the event is over, they can be a blessing to many. And so if there are special circumstances, please give us a call, because again, God has a way of working things out, and we want everyone to just take advantage of that opportunity God has provided to come and hear Brother Joe Recca, who is absolutely hilarious, a gospel comedian, a professional who does not use profanity to be funny. And in this day and time, that is refreshing. Linda Fuller, who is the biblical dramatist for that Friday night. She is a member from Lone Oak First Baptist Church in Lone Oak in Paducah, Kentucky. Pastor Lisa Dyson from Victorious Life Christian Center in Hopkins Park, Illinois. And then on that Saturday, for women only on that Saturday, and for girls 6 to 17, we have a keynote speaker, Dr. Diana Williams, who is also an author. We have several workshops on that Saturday. Julie Price and Tiffany Benberry will have a workshop for etiquette for both church and social. The Nia dancers will do a workshop on self-worth. Pastor Nathan Joyce, the senior pastor at Heartland Worship Center, will do a workshop for ladies in 2 age groups about how to identify godly men and what they see. And then we'll have a workshop for pastors' wives. We'll have workshops that will be conducted by Lori Brown and Kathy Williams, both who are regular co-hosts of TCT, and Marion, Illinois, who will do workshops on love and relationships for 2 different age groups. We will have continental breakfast on that morning. We will have lunch, and we're just going to have a ball, both that Friday night and that Saturday. And we want to stress that on that Friday night, men and their sons or grandsons can attend that Friday night and just come out and just have a grand old time. Pastor Todd Brady Sr. is the senior pastor at First Baptist Church, who is the host pastor and host church for that Friday night. And Pastor Jay Gottman and co-pastor Marianne Langton are hosting at First Christian Church on that Saturday. We are pumped up, and we want to encourage citizens, don't let anything hinder your being there. If there is a problem, give us a call. We're going to help you work it out. If there's a will, there's a way.
And if I could add something, we have 100-member, or we're aiming to have a 100-member women's choir during the conference. And for those of you who sing, you don't have to sing well. As long as you just have the desire, show up, and we want you to be with us. We're going to be singing about 3 pieces, very neat music, and I think that's going to be an exciting part too.
Absolutely.
And one additional thing I would add too, you know, we talk about us meeting together and we're being very productive, but it's also downright fun. I've been just thoroughly enjoying being together with everyone, the meetings, and I'm looking forward to the conference for that matter as well.
But that's a wonderful gift that comes out of planning something like this, is that you develop relationships with people that you wouldn't necessarily meet in any other way, with this common goal of, you know, being of service to God and helping God create something new in this community. I would think that in and of itself is something that God rejoices in, because God can then use those relationships in ways that we might not even be able to see yet. Is that something that you're getting a sense of?
Well, totally. One of the things, talking about fun, is, like you're saying, a lot of opportunities in networking, a lot of opportunities in meeting people of all different ages. I mean, like Reverend Belt was saying, starting at 6 years old, that relationship, that interaction that you have with children, I mean, they are our future. So we have to guide them now. We have to be their support, but we're also going to learn from them and see things through their eyes. And what more beautiful feeling is that than to see their relationship with God and how much energy they bring to all this. The age, you know, the range from 6 to 82. I mean, to be a senior, to me, it's such a wealth of knowledge, all the experience that they bring forth. Now, I'm pretty new. I still consider myself pretty new to the area. I've been living here 4 years. So I'm thoroughly enjoying meeting people and making new friends. You know, the networking. Like I said, it's an opportunity for me to learn from all different people and to get to know people. Build more of a foundation here. You know, make it more of my home.
Yeah.
And speaking of the children, having 2 young children myself, I think it's so important for them to see we adults conversing and establishing relationships with people that are different from us. I think that's very important. And I'm glad that we are getting the children involved because of that as well.
As it relates to the choir, Pastor Winkel, we have approximately 40 women who are on board for prayerfully the 100-woman choir. Also, we would like for children, for girls, 6 to 17, to participate as well. We've been sending out communications to pastors and women's ministries and organizations since March. And we've asked pastors to send 2 good altos, and when I say good, I'm just talking about just women, and we're all good women, aren't we? 2 good altos, 3 good sopranos, and any girl 6 to 17 who want to participate and who have the permission of their parents. We don't care if you're a soloist, as Julie said. We don't care if you're a soloist, if you have choral experience, if you've never been in a choir. It is not going to make any difference, because if you, as she said, if you bring your faith, the director and the musicians will help you take care of the rest. And for those who would like to participate, just get hold of us, let us know. We'll take your name and your phone number and address, and then we will provide the rehearsal schedule. We'll only have 2, and then we'll have a warm-up on that Friday night of the Friday night event. Our director and musicians are going to be prepared, and our rehearsals will not last more than an hour and a half. The women are busy, and even the children are busy, and so we really respect and honor that. We also respect and honor that there's protocol in the churches, and so we want to make sure that we operate through the pastors and the ministers of music and choral directors.
As you're speaking about that, I'm remembering that even as I've driven around town, I've seen some big signs in front of churches, in front of First Baptist, in front of First Christian, that gives the schedule for the weekend and the location, because you're a little bit of a traveling event. And so there, I'm thinking there's probably contact information there for people who want to connect, either to participate in the choir or to simply participate in the conference itself.
And I'm sorry, but there's also other participation as well. Understandably, not everyone can participate. There are some organizations that would like to help in other ways as well. businesses. We encourage businesses, local businesses, to help both organizations that we're giving donations to, which is the Merriman House as well as Women Living Free, to put an ad on our souvenir booklet that we'll be having the program that day and for that weekend event. They can place ads, they can advertise their businesses, their churches, and that's another way for us to also promote other agencies, other local organizations as well, because we have so much more work to do. The kickoff conference is just a small portion of what we have in store, what we're looking for come 2009.
And what are you getting a sense of what that is? Do you have particular ideas, or talk about where this might
for 2009? I'll touch on just what God gave me permission to say, because I'm afraid that if I say any more, He might just be a little upset with me. But I can share this, that we will provide training for associate ministers. We will provide training and workshop opportunities for wives of associate ministers, because it is not an easy task, first of all, to accept any calling upon our lives from God, and then to be the husband or the wife, the partner, the marital partner of those who are called into the gospel ministry is a very difficult undertaking, and so we're sensitive to that, and so we would provide training, workshops, those different types of opportunities, again, for ministers, women ministers, and associate ministers' wives, pastors' wives. Also, we have a need to provide some things for persons with special needs. That was one of the brainstorming efforts that we did early in the year. We had persons with special needs who wanted us to pay some sweet attention to them. And additionally, we're already planning for the 2009 conference, and we are going to add the Rape Crisis Center along with Merriman House and Ladies Living Free as a third recipient in 2009, and just listen to God and let Him just continue moving us forward. Also, in 2009, we are going to have an additional push of promoting the calendars, any prepared calendars for local churches. We are going to make a concerted effort to help promote these events for 2009. We did a presentation to the Ministers Alliance in Paducah recently, and we suggested simple things like a delegation from the Collaborative Women's Conference, for example, to on the last night, third night or last night, however it's set up, for revival, that we would just come and have punch and cookies, so that after that last night of revival, after the benediction, people can continue to fellowship sweetly as they leave and go about their respective responsibilities. And possibly maybe an organization that has some faith-based initiatives may want to utilize a delegation from the Collaborative Women's Conference to help them to promote or to develop or to set up those types of things. And we need all the support that we can get from each other in our community. And women who were born to be nurturers, you know, born to hug and to teach and to love and to be helpmates to our husbands and to our pastors and that type of thing. We have so many opportunities to take that to another level, and the Collaborative Women's Conference we are girded up, we're ready to go to do just those things.
Mm-hmm. Well, our time is just running out so quickly. Just remind our viewers again the program that they can take part in, and give a telephone number that they might call so that they can register.
On October the 10th, which is a Friday night, beginning at 7 p.m., we will have a program at First Baptist Church on Broadway in Paducah, and the doors will open at 6. We will have our gospel comedian, a biblical dramatist, and a woman who will give the word from the Lord. We are asking everyone, women and children, children 6 to 17, to participate in the 100-woman choir. And as you provide your name and phone number, we will inform you of that information on rehearsals. And then that is open to men and boys and their grandsons. Also, that Saturday is for women and girls only. It will begin at 8 a.m. for registration. We will have continental breakfast, lunch, a luncheon speaker, and dynamic workshops. And we're going to be saying the benediction at 1:30 because we don't have to be there all day to get what God has for us.
Well, it's exciting on so many different levels, and I am certain that God is going to use this to bless not only those who have helped prepare this, those who participate, but God is clearly going to bring many blessings and reveal many more in the days that follow and the months and years that follow. Julie Price, Berneice Belt, and Martha Argotte, thank you for coming and sharing with us, and for giving us an example of the ways in which God calls us to work together in the world collaboratively for purposes far greater than we can even imagine. Thank you for joining us today. You are viewers of Reflections, and we just invite you, however you can, wherever you can, to participate in the work of Paducah Cooperative Ministry, where together we do God's work with human hands. Shalom.
In mission